All right. In this activity, we're just introducing combination play through a functional warm-up, just technical functions, passing, moving, doing some dynamic stretches within. So you've got 8 to 10 players. If you've got 12, if you've got 16, you can do with this with however many players you have. Just split half in one color, half in the other, or just half inside, half outside. Really the goal here is in the first little section, let's say 2 minutes, you've got the players on the inside playing to the players on the outside. So 20 by 30 grid's pretty good as we move up. Like 99, 11, 11, you can make that a little bit bigger. We're just doing some introductions of wall pass, overlaps, takeovers, what have you. So when we have the ball here, so let's say we're this red player here and we play to this blue player, that blue player is just going to play back to us. Some things we can do to make this a little bit better. Let's say we have a cone in here. I'm going to make this cone a little bit bigger so you can see it. Let's say we have a cone in here that acts as a defender. So some of the coaching points for wall pass are playing to the back foot, right? So that player can play a quick one time back to us. And then this run, I'm explaining this wall pass, and there's an overlap on this side. So we'll switch it to this side. Apologies. Wall pass. So this run needs to go around the defender. We do that so the defender doesn't really know where we're going. It's back. The defender's back is to us. We play to this player's left foot, in this case, back foot, and they play it back to us with the left foot, right? We would receive it going into the next space. So we could receive it and maybe go here and do the same wall pass around a cone. So you could set up cones, in these spaces around these players. Just give each player a cone to set up about, 5 yards in front of them or what have you. And so each wall pass is around that cone. That would be beneficial. Again, pace of the pass, accuracy of the pass, where are we passing, that type of thing. So that's really it in the first part of the activity, the first 2 minutes and 2 minutes after you rotate. The second, let's say 2 minutes, or after the 4 minutes, you'll have another, let's say 2 minutes, whatever you feel is comfortable for the kids. You're going to do, you could change into an overlap if you think that would be beneficial to the kids, if you think that they're ready for that. But we really, the only thing that is super important to teach the overlap is the movement that cues the overlap. Okay, so I'm actually going to dribble this, not move. So dribble is a squiggly line. Good. Move this arrow here. All right, so an overlap is super important with this cue. So we might play this player the ball, but if they take a touch down this line, right, we're not going to overlap. So the cue to the overlap is that they're taking that touch in, maybe even at a defender, right? Or if a defender's here, let's say in a game, not in the warm-up, where we have some pressure, we're taking this defender away from the space that this player is going to overlap into. So we're creating that space using this dribble. So the cue for this player to overlap is when this player receives the ball, or if they're like dribbling down the line, let's say, they take a touch in to then create that space for this overlap. So that's important as we coach this. Otherwise, the same things, passing accuracy, pace, those are all important. And then, so you can do that for 2 minutes, give them a break, do some dynamic stretching between each 2 minutes. And then the last 2 minutes is just to touch on some takeovers if that's something that you really want. It's not, that's a combination play that gets brought up. If you're not aware of what it is, I wouldn't necessarily coach it at this point. It's not something you see often. It's just a small pass as two players are going separate directions. So if you wanted to skip that in this warm-up, I'd be completely okay with it. But you may do it. So if this player, let's do it with a different player. If this player has a ball and they are dribbling at this blue player, they can maybe say takeover or whatever you want just to signify that. And as this player goes into takeover, this player is going at this player, and it's a short pass from same foot to same foot. So if I got it on my right foot, I'm going to pass to their right foot. You could get it to their left foot if they're running this way. It's less of a takeover and more of a short pass. So that's the warm-up activity for the combination play. Players on the outside, players on the inside. You could do this just with passing and receiving too. You could start it out just passing and receiving without any combination play. So half the players in the ball or field, half with a ball, half the players on the outside without a ball, or vice versa. I play it to an outside player that doesn't have a ball, and then that blue player would then have a ball, and then a red player would then come get a ball, pass, receive, and go somewhere else. So you could start this activity with passing and receiving. I think that would be a good way to start it, just to get them an idea of how to do it, and then we introduce combination play. That's probably how I would do it, and I think it'd be really beneficial for 7v7s, 9v9s, even 11v11s, just to get some warm-up in. That's it for this activity. Have fun.